Good morning, everybody. What's going on? Welcome back to Movie Mornings, and today's a very exciting episode. We are going to be talking about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, the latest film from the MCU, the latest film from director Sam Raimi. It's going to be very exciting. Jose and myself got to see this last night. Very cool. Can't wait to get into it. But before we get started, please, as always, hit the like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, and hit that bell for notifications. Sitting with me, as I have already said, is Mr. Jose Espinel. Jose, how's it going?
So I'm glad to be here, and I just can't wait to get into this movie, Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness. As Dom said, we both got to see this last night, and man, this movie it was crazy. It was a crazy movie, honestly.
Yeah, man. If you guys haven't checked it out already, I already put my non-spoiler thoughts up on the channel. There's a separate video for that, so make sure you go check that out as well. If you haven't seen the movie, also make sure you do go check out the movie and then come back here and listen to this big spoiler reaction that we have here.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of thoughts I think that we both have on this. We kind of did have a phone conversation last night because we honestly
it was like an hour and a half long conversation.
We just couldn't wait. We couldn't wait
honestly.
For this review.
We had to talk to each other on the phone because this movie was just oh man.
Wrong screen there, folks. There we go. All right, so yeah, I called you immediately when I got out because I had to be like,
I watched it earlier. I watched it at 3 p.m. You went to the later time, so I was just waiting for you to get out of it so we could talk. I was the whole time you were before you called me, I was still processing the movie in my head. I was sat there just for hours just pondering and thinking about what I had just witnessed.
Same, and that was exactly what I said. I think those are my first words when I called. I said, "What the hell did I just watch?" Even though I didn't say it so generous, but yeah,
those were the exact words. You're like, "What the hell did I just watch?" Like, it was crazy, man. This movie was, man.
So I mean, I'll get into this. For starters, this is not the movie I thought I was going to see, and so that's a lot of why I had that reaction of "What the hell did I just watch?" It's a good Sam Raimi movie. It's a phenomenal Sam Raimi movie. If you guys haven't heard my non-spoiler thoughts, I love the movie. I think it's phenomenal through and through. I think everything Sam Raimi wanted to do with the movie, he executed perfectly. And I think it works on that level. There are a lot of people who aren't going to appreciate this movie. I'll tell you right now. Because I've already heard that reaction. Typically for people that haven't enjoyed Sam Raimi's movies in the past so much. Especially when it comes to even his Spider-Man movies. They seem to be like not high on this movie, and I get it. I do, because this is a Sam Raimi movie more than it is a Doctor Strange movie.
That is, yeah.
But it's so Doctor Strange at the same time to me. When I saw it, I felt like I was watching a perfect continuation of Doctor Strange in the best way possible, because a lot of what this movie does is it takes the things we already knew, but it adds a new fresh take on it. Yeah. And also adds new information along the way. And it takes you on this roller coaster ride of dreams, multiverse, and in some ways, the in-between of that.
Yeah, it was also like, like you said in the phone call, it was like a finale wrap of WandaVision,
That's the other part of it, which we can get into now because this is the spoiler discussion. So I will warn the audience, we're going to get into the spoilers now.
Which, I feel like if anyone was to understand the darkness of Wanda, it's Sam Raimi. Like, we know he does horror films, and she was just so horrific in the sense of, like, with the horror aspect. Like, she was just so dark, so much horror that he just understood it, so well. That he was able to portray her character so well in this film.
That's a good place to start. We could start with Wanda because, for me, the second that the reveal happened. And I'll say this, I'll say a couple different things. When we saw Wanda in this movie, and it started with the WandaVision theme, which I thought was such a great callback, and I definitely got a little emotional for nostalgia of WandaVision, for the time that WandaVision was around, the dark times, the COVID times, when audiences were gathered around the television set week after week to watch WandaVision. And that's what I was thinking of. And it was a great callback to that time, because WandaVision really did keep us entertained, say what you will about the show, for week after week. And So that was cool. That was a good move to put that theme in there when they introduced her. But then, while everything might seem fairly happy-go-lucky, Strange is coming up to her because he wants help. He approaches her because he wants help, and
yes, because he doesn't know who's sending these monsters after
America Chavez, right? Which is a new great character, which we'll get into here in a minute.
Exactly.
Right, and Strange wants to protect America Chavez because, and this is my take, and this is where the Spider-Man of it all comes in. I don't think he wants to wrong another kid the way he did Peter, even though like he doesn't remember Peter Parker. I think that emotion of that is kind of still there. Yeah, I think that lingers for him because when he's having the dream, and the other Strange, we'll start there too.
He tries to kill America Chavez, like take her powers, basically.
Yes, he tries to kill America Chavez, and I think that awoken that emotion back up in Strange of kind of what he did to Peter, where he, in a way, he did kill. Well, he didn't kill Peter Parker. He killed Spider-Man, but he killed the idea of Peter Parker.
That's yeah.
And while he doesn't know that Peter Parker exists in his mind, does that mean the emotion is gone? At least this is my take on it. When I was watching that relationship between the other Doctor Strange that we start off with in the movie and America Chavez, I was looking at that as a parallel to our Doctor Strange and Peter Parker. And
I can see that. Yeah,
this is a chance for Doctor Strange to do right by somebody, which I love. And I think that that's the whole motivation for Strange right here. In a way, it's a weird way because again, he doesn't remember the Peter Parker thing, but he also kind of has the emotion of that still lingers somewhere, I think, in his mind and in his heart.
It's also almost like he's trying to raise his own child, because we've never seen him as a, for like, it comes back to Tony Stark raising Peter Parker, Tom Holland, as his son. Yeah. It's almost like here, Strange is trying to raise and protect America Chavez like she is his daughter. Yeah. Which I really like seeing with Doctor, because we've never seen this from him before, really. And so being able to see that here in this movie between America Chavez and this Doctor Strange, I really enjoyed that.
So somebody's after America, and so he's going to turn to Wanda for help, which to me, I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
She's also one of the most powerful Avengers, if not probably the most powerful Avenger of all of them.
Well, how many times have we seen this beat played over in movies? I know a guy. That was kind of strange to Wanda. And so we buy into it immediately that Wanda and him are going to team up, and especially because of the way the trailers played. But then you get the moment of where she says America.
Okay. And then he's like, and then she's like, you never told me her name, did you? He's like, nope. I was like, oh shit.
First of all, oh boy, the silence in that was so good.
Oh my god, dude.
Because there was no like score to like put you in suspense until she said, oh, I thought the hex would work, and then she undid the hex that she had to make everything look like it was going well.
Yeah, that was
brilliant. And now explains so much about the post-credit scene of WandaVision. But the thing about that is, when I was looking at that, I was kind of like, now I understand why Sam Raimi got hired for this job.
100%.
And it was from then on that it really became a Sam Raimi movie through and through.
Like Kevin, I praise Kevin Feige because he's so smart and he knows what he's doing, and he saw what this movie was supposed to be, and he was like, all right, who's the best man for this job? Of course, Sam Raimi, man. This was like you said, as much a Sam Raimi fan as it was a Doctor Strange movie. You know what I mean? Like, It was great. Sam Raimi absolutely killed this movie. His horror, dark aspects really showed in a lot more in this movie than in his Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, for sure, which is what I really enjoyed.
Yeah. In Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, I mean, you could argue in Spider-Man 3, the Venom stuff and all that coming in.
Yeah,
it's there. And then he also plays with, I mean, Goblin's got that creepy aspect to where he's kind of a split personality type dude.
True.
Other than that, there's not really a lot of horror in Spider-Man.
It's not to the level of this movie here.
Is interesting to me because I actually thought Raimi was going to be hired for this more for the Spider-Man sensibilities than anything else. And there's a little bit of that, but it's more for his sensibilities in his horror films like Evil Dead and Drag Me to Hell and things like that. That's what was played into this movie. So surprising right off the bat. And when Wanda makes a turn and she's going to be the villain, I was like, wow, we're diving right in.
the black tips on her finger like Agatha in
Yeah,
WandaVision because of how far gone she is now from from the Darkhold.
she's
Same with
corrupted, right?
same as Agatha when she had the Darkhold. Her fingertips are black, and so now we see Wanda the same because she's just so far gone. She's so corrupted that yeah, it's some great stuff. Honestly,
Yeah.
the Wanda stuff, man, is some great horror aspects, which I really enjoyed seeing from Wanda because from where we started with Wanda in Ultron to now. I mean, she used to just be this innocent kind of good person, loving, and now we get to see her completely turn to the other side in this more dark horror aspect.
And I kept thinking about that too, what you were just saying about where Wanda started. And I really think that that is the wow factor of this movie in a way. When you look at Spider-Man No Way Home, it has the wow factor of Toby and Andrew showing up and the three Spider-Man
Right.
getting together. This is the culmination. This is an event film in the sense that we're coming to the, maybe not the conclusion, but we're coming to the biggest part of Wanda's journey. And I think that is the wow factor. When I said what I said in my non-spoiler review yesterday, when I saw the film, was if I could review this movie in 2 words, it's Wanda wow.
I saw, yeah,
And that's,
I remember, yeah, I saw that too. I was like, yeah, honestly, perfectly described, honestly, because exactly, Wonder Wow, like, oh my gosh, man,
And I
she's
like that she does it. She is the draw, and I think she's going to be the thing a lot of people are going to care about the most when they see the film, but it's still very much a Doctor Strange movie. He's still very much the main character, and I like that everything happening with Wanda didn't overshadow that. It's still a Doctor Strange
yeah, it's
movie.
like they both had their times, where they
Really?
both showed
Yeah.
completely. It was as much a Wanda film as it was a Doctor Strange film. Like they both, I mean, yeah, there were scenes where they were together, but they not one outshowed the other. And the scenes that they were together, they really both just showed, like they were both just amazing in the
Yeah.
scenes that they were together. 100%.
Yeah, 100% as well. Yeah, but it was a big twist because I think we all speculated, sure, Wanda would be the villain probably by the end of the movie.
I speculated that she was going to be the villain in this movie from even before this movie was announced. I was like,
yeah,
oh, 100%. Wanda's going to be
right.
the villain. I mean,
100%.
I just didn't think that it was going to be this quick in the movie.
Right. That's what I mean. That's the difference.
I kind of thought that it was going to be like either in the middle or like not the end, but kind of like towards the end where she was going to become the big bad.
Well, that's again where it goes into a lot of the beats and it flips it on its head, because when you look at Civil War, for example, with Iron Man and Captain America, the real turn for Iron Man, it was a build, in that movie.
It did build, yeah.
It built into that battle between the two. This went right in.
To this one, yeah, I was saying contrast to this one where it kind of just boom like that.
It went right in.
Conversion, yeah.
Didn't waste any time building, and I know that that's where some people are going to have the problem. In fact, I know that's where some people have a problem with this movie. For myself, it made a lot of sense because of the WandaVision pretext of it all.
Exactly.
I think that was the build into this, was WandaVision.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, as soon as she got the Darkhold from Agatha and she put her back in that trance, exactly. That's when I knew, bam, she's going to turn bad very soon.
And Agatha Harkness warned her, is the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, look, and Wanda even said it in this, you don't have Wanda anymore. You have the Scarlet Witch. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean, Agatha called it, and man, yeah, it was. Look, I'm gonna just say, Elizabeth Olsen, this is the best that I've seen her as Wanda. Honestly, like, hats down. Her performance in this movie, she gave one hell of her best performance, hands down. Like, yeah, the scene with her and Vision in Infinity War, I think it was, or Endgame. What was it, Endgame, when he died?
Infinity War.
Yeah, that was great stuff. But this just took the cake, man. Her performance in this entire movie was just jaw dropping, man. I loved it.
She is amazing. She is the standout without having to overshadow anything. It's just she's naturally standing out here within the performance that she gave. She really is that good and so convincing as the villain. So I was so happy to see her get this opportunity to play all these this whole range of emotions that Elizabeth Olsen gets to play throughout this movie is so fun to watch.
The horror mad, you had the sad, you had yeah, I just had so many a range of emotions that she just was able to go back and forth to and just portray so well in this movie. That's why she's just such a talented actress, man.
Yeah, I'm so excited to just be able to talk openly about this, man, because
Bro, I've had so much like hidden inside of myself that I've been wanting to just take out and talk about.
yeah.
And I'm just so glad that we can finally do it, man.
Yeah, it's insane because again, it does it does play into the fact that this is not the movie I thought that I was going to get. So
I don't think any of us really thought. I mean, excuse me. I had my speculations, obviously, because I had seen all the videos that Marvel had posted about this, all those like mini trailers. So I had my speculations. But yeah, this movie just everything that I thought thrown in the bin, thrown in the bin, like completely different to what I thought, like completely.
yeah,
honestly.
and I think that's what continues to, or what is going to continue to make the MCU work is to
Especially after this film, like they've just opened up so much stuff, and we're gonna think one thing, and that's what the MCU really I think has been doing. Maybe not from the beginning, but ever since they started branching out to different stuff, is really what they have been doing is just really surprising us with every single new movie that has come out.
you get directors like Sam Raimi and people like that, you're going to open it up to, you're going to open a lot more doors for things because everybody's going to put a new style on it. And Sam Raimi showed that. Let me talk about this too, because there's a lot happening in this movie, and Sam Raimi shows that you can actually make a movie like this where there's a lot going on in 2 hours and 6 minutes. You don't need 2.5 hours to make that work.
I was surprised with the runtime. I thought it was gonna be a lot longer, but I was thoroughly, I thoroughly enjoyed, and I really did like the run. I mean, he really just was able to make a movie in 2 hours and 6 with the amount of stuff that was going on in this movie.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's props to him.
Not only makes it a little bit more rewatchable, but it also gives it that he comes from the old school of directors. And as I was telling you yesterday when I was on the phone with you, it feels like something you would have seen in the early 2000s because a lot of people just aren't making movies like this anymore. A lot of people feel this need to build over the time of 2.5 hours. And I like those movies too. I'm not trying to diss that. It's just we kind of lost this way where Sam Raimi just knows how to utilize a runtime, I guess is my point. And there's a lot of filmmakers from back in the day that know how to do that. And Sam Raimi comes from that old school of directors that knows how to do that. A lot of these, I feel like newer guys that join the MCU, they don't really feel like they know how to do that as well.
Yeah, for example, like with Infinity War and Endgame, I mean, like especially Endgame, like that movie is what, like 3 hours long. I mean, and yeah, I do agree with you. Like the shorter runtime movies, I do enjoy, but I do enjoy the longer ones too. I just feel like people just don't really have the attention span for longer runtime movies, which is where even though that movie, made so much money, it's still just people just don't have the attention span to sit through a 3-4 hour long movie.
Yeah, well, I put it this way. It feels like Raimi's a seasoned director now. Like you could tell when you're watching this movie compared to a lot of the other Marvel movies, it's the fact that he's been in this business a long time and you can actually really feel like he has control over everything he's doing. Like this movie never loses control over what it's trying to do. I don't think.
It's literally controlled by Sam Raimi the entire time,
which is so surprising because of how much it's actually doing in one story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all controlled. It's all very concise, and he just knows how to do that. I think that this is again what makes it. I'm still debating on where it ranks for me, but I gotta see it again.
We could just agree that it's one of the best Marvel
films. It is in the top 3
ever.
I would have to say for me of the Marvel movies, and that is a lot due to the fact that we got a guy here who's been in this business for a long time, knowing how to balance all of these different elements and things within his style of
he's also in his element too. So, this is a horror movie. It's very dark, very violent. Like that's his area, and he just just showed and proved again why that is his specialty.
Yeah, it just felt very comfortable the whole time I was watching it. There was not a point in the movie where, I felt uncomfortable in terms of things that were supposed to make me feel uncomfortable, like things going on with Wanda and things like that. But I mean, in terms of just the viewing experience itself, it just plays so nicely. It's smooth. It doesn't ever feel like it's zigging or zagging where it's not supposed to. It's just very smooth
and it has you locked in the entire time. You don't find yourself at any point bored or just wanting to know what time is this going to end. When is this over? Like it just has you engaged the entire time.
I'm glad you brought that up in terms of that, and I guess this is the point I was trying to make too. Is a lot of these movies, when we walk into the MCU movies, we have to like really, even Infinity War, which is a movie that's kind of going in so many different directions at all times because it's setting up so much and it's understandable. And I love Infinity War. But when you watch Avengers Infinity War, you're even me there, I'm thinking in the theater, I'm enjoying myself, but I really this movie's gonna depend on where it goes. It doesn't matter, like it's most of the MCU movies always are dependent on their third and final act and where they're going. While I would say that's true of all movies to a degree, I got to a point where I was midway through this movie and I already knew how I felt about this movie. You know, it was like, I don't really care where it goes. Take me on this ride, you know, and that's a confident director.
I was about to say, I was already, you know, intrigued. I was already locked into the movie. I didn't care really where this went. I was already in love with this movie and I was like, bro, just take me on this amazing ride and just get me just through this entire amazing journey.
That's something Sam Raimi's so good at, dude, is that he knows how to, he makes movies in a way, they are a roller coaster ride. I think he truly believes that in his mind as a filmmaker. Like, movies are supposed to be a roller coaster ride, and that's what he makes. And he took us on that.
I don't care what other people say. Like, that's how I feel about his Tobey Maguire films. Like, say what you want about those. Yeah. He really just has you, you know, locked in the entire time with those movies. Man, I really did enjoy those.
Yeah, and speaking of the Tobey Maguire movies, when the battle in New York was going on in the beginning, it really happens pretty quickly. When that all goes down, I'm like, oh, we're back in the Maguire-verse in a way. It felt like that in a way because of the tone and the style. And when Doctor Strange was coming down, I felt like when Tobey Maguire was coming down. A lot of that is also due to Danny Elfman's score, which is a longtime collaborator of Raimi's, has done most of his movies. Danny Elfman really does a great job with the score here. And so that did play into a lot of it as well. Now, horror vibes are just off the charts, though. And we were kind of talking about that already with the horror.
The horror and the horror, it just progressively gets more horror, you know, it just progressively just gets darker and darker.
When I saw the eyeball pop out in the beginning, when they were fighting that monster, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's a very Sam Raimi-esque thing. I thought that was going to be about the limit of where we would go.
From Gargantos?
Right. And I thought that'd be about the limit of where we go with the horror. I did not expect
it just got darker, man. Yeah, it got darker and more violent. Like, it was, this film was crazy, man. And like you said, like, this is one of the main things that I remember from your non-spoiler too, is like, don't take your kids, because this movie is way too graphic, way too horror for kids, man. This is it's a lot for kids, man. This is I'm still surprised that it's PG-13, if I'm being honest.
There were some graphic scenes in this, and
that's what I mean. Like,
we'll talk about that too, and I am surprised as well. And I just never expected the MCU to go into all that the way that they did. I mean, they really made.
I thought this was gonna be the first rated R movie from Marvel, but look, it's still gonna be Deadpool. Oh, it technically is Deadpool, because his first two are now Marvel films, but the first Marvel film that Marvel is going to make that is rated R is gonna be Deadpool.
Yeah,
with Deadpool 3, I feel like that's still gonna be their first rated R movie that they make.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be this one, but it's
Disney
gonna
Marvel,
be it's gonna be Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure. And I understand how this, to some degree, I do understand. I mean, this is nothing on the level of Evil Dead gore, but it's still pretty graphic, and they really let Sam Raimi run wild with this stuff.
Yeah.
The shots, now, one of the first scenes that I saw, and I was like, oh, that's actually really creepy. Because they start to explain about Wanda being tethered to this other Wanda in this separate universe who actually has her children, which is Wanda's whole motivation throughout this movie is getting these kids back. And
her kids,
not even really her kids. I mean, they're fake,
right?
You know, they're fake. And so when you start to look at that, there's a moment where our Wanda comes to the window of the other Wanda, and like,
oh yeah, when like the reflection.
Oh, that was so good.
That reflection in the window. That was some creepy stuff, and that was some great stuff.
Yeah, that was classic horror movie stuff, and a lot of this movie has that.
I was gonna mention, going back to the Carmitage scene when Wanda
Yes.
comes up. That was some intense stuff right there, man. Like,
so unexpected because we'd seen that in the trailers, this black cloud hovering over Carmitage, but we had no idea that was going to be
that it was Wanda. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when I saw her emerge from that, I was like, oh my God, like that's the moment you really know she's the big bad of this
Like I said,
movie.
yeah, like I said in the phone call, it just reminded me of when she came out of the hex to confront the police officers.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of that, and that's what I really liked about that scene too, especially.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And this movie it takes so many swings in the adventure of it all with and America Chavez, I mean, we could talk about now, great character from the,
100% from the beginning, from the very first scene with Defender Strange.
and kudos to the actress too, because it's hard to be a new character like this coming into the scene the way she did and be so likable right off the bat. I loved when they go to their first universe. I love the way that looked out. First of all, then we saw a glimpse of it in the trailers, but not like it played in the movie when they were going through all the universes together.
Oh my God,
sends them that way.
That was some trippy stuff, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that was some very, very trippy stuff. Like,
amazing, yeah. Like,
oh my God, and what I found really funny too was when they got out of it, and she was like, "Why aren't you throwing up right now?" He's like, "Trust me,
that was
I've been through
one of the funniest things.
I've been through some wild trips," and she was like, "Okay, fair." And then like 2 minutes, then like a minute later,
he starts
puking
in the trash can like crazy, which was great because it was such a human moment too. You know, it was so human of him. And she was like, "There it is."
Because I mean, like he has been in a wild trip before. Like the Sorcerer Supreme and the first Doctor Strange set him on that wild trip, which kind of reminded me of this one right here, this multiverse trip that they went through, which I really did enjoy too. That whole scene of them going through all those multiverses.
We need to mention this though because it does have really great funny moments like that, but this is one of the least funny MCU movies I think overall.
Oh, I only laughed a couple times throughout this entire movie.
It's not going for the joke like a lot of them all the time.
No,
it's not, most of the time it's not going for a joke, which I found to just be so interesting and different.
I guess the other joke that I can remember off the top of my head was when
well, I'll tell you what the funniest moment in the movie was.
When Wong was telling Doctor Strange about bowing to the Sorcerer Supreme, how it was like some ancient custom. I kind of find that like bit funny too.
Yeah, I'll tell you later what I thought the funniest moment in the movie was, just even based on audience reaction for me. But okay, so they're going through though this multiverse, and she's got this pizza, and he's like, "How'd you get that?" And food's free.
She's like, "It's free."
Yeah, and then we got Bruce Campbell's cameo, who's in all of Sam Raimi's movies, and amazing.
Balls.
Well, he was what do you call him, the pizza papa? He said the pizza papa always
Papa
gets
pizza.
paid. Papa pizza always gets paid. Something like that. And then Doctor Strange puts a hex on him, which you won't know this yet, but it is a direct reference to Evil Dead when he's smacking himself.
I did so I did watch. I keep sucking their dick, but I saw a new Rockstar video of them breaking down.
Oh yeah.
The end,
direct reference.
Yeah, and they were like, direct reference to Evil Dead, where he was slapping himself in that movie. Yeah,
that was a direct reference to Evil Dead. I thought it was so funny, but moving on into everything going on.
Oh my gosh! Oh, you know what was really cool too? The scene was when they stepped on that cylinder and they showed them their memories.
Yeah, that was good.
And they showed Doctor Strange with Christine when she got him that watch, which again, that watch played a bigger role than people really might think in this movie. Like the message with this watch, it was cool. I really did enjoy that scene, and then seeing her memory of sending her parents who knows where, the first time that she opened, the multiverse portal. I thought that was some really good stuff too.
Yeah, it was great.
It really showed, like, Doctor Strange really did show in his expression in that scene, like almost like trying to be a father figure to her, and kind of comforting her, saying that it wasn't your fault, even though she still blames herself for it. I thought that was some really good stuff between them.
There's a lot of heart between the two of them, and it's the type of heart we really don't get in movies anymore. It's that type of heart that I felt like.
It just reminds me of Tony Stark with Spider-Man. That father, the father kid relationship.
There's a ton of heart in this movie with America Chavez and Doctor Strange. It really kind of keeps the movie going too in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
and yeah, you're right. Benedict Cumberbatch did really well in those scenes with her with her. And I really enjoyed that. It was, again, the human moments. And it goes back into what I was saying about the humor of the movie. A lot of it does come out of like these very human moments. When it does come, it's not really going for the joke all the time. It rarely does it just go for a joke. You know, it's
Forgot
really.
oh man, I mean, it was. I guess it wasn't that big, but the wedding scene was pretty cool too, with
I liked it.
Christine and yeah, and the whole asking him if he's happy, and he's like, oh yeah, I am happy, of course.
Which we'll get into because it comes full circle later. For
Exactly,
that, yeah.
exactly.
Which I thought it's still significant. Yeah.
I thought it. I thought I mentioned because that "Are you happy?" question, plays a pretty big role in this movie. Comes full circle.
Well, then he goes to see Mordo though, or he doesn't actually go to see Mordo.
Well,
he goes to see himself.
He wants to go see another version of himself.
Yeah.
Then he finds out that there's a statue of him and that he died fighting Thanos.
Right.
And then you see Mordo come out and it's like, oh shit. I thought honestly at first I guess not at first, but watching the movie, I still kind of thought that it was going to be our Mordo. But then, I remembered they're in a different multiverse and that it's not the same. But does he still hate Doctor Strange? But then you also do find out that he's being nice to Doctor Strange because he wants to get him in there so that they can trap him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I actually thought that was one of the funnier moments in the movie too, was when he was like, my brother, come on in, and Doctor Strange was like, okay. What was the line? Go on red, because in that universe.
Yes, yeah. Go on red, yeah.
He was like, you go on red here? That universe, you go on red instead of green. Which I thought was cool. Because it actually just doesn't play into what's different with the heroes in the multiverse. It plays what's different about the universe overall.
Right.
That go on red stuff and all that, which was very cool. And I thought that what also was playing really well here is we still had a really good chemistry between Strange and Chiwetel Ejiofor as Mordo. I thought that they just played the scene really well. And then you're right, he was trapping him.
Yeah.
And then you got Christine, Rachel McAdams is Christine, and you figure out like right then and there the kind of part she's going to be playing throughout the rest of this movie. It's a different Christine.
Different Christine, one that works in this place.
A lot more involved in this fantastical hero world than the Christine that we.
She knows so much about the multiverse, like Doctor Strange. Our Doctor Strange is from Earth 616, where they're from Earth. I forget the number that they're from.
Yeah.
Which watching a video, I saw that the first time that this was mentioned was actually in Far From Home with Mysterio, where he said that we're in dimension 616. Well, Spider-Man, they're in dimension 616, and he's from dimension like 338 or something like that. So he's from a totally different dimensions, which is where we find out first about different multiverses, which I thought was really cool. So yeah.
Now let's not bury the lead though, because we get around to the Illuminati. And we all knew what was coming.
Look, honestly, I really like this concept of them trying to bring. Obviously, it's not the Illuminati from the comics, because the Marvel Illuminati does have some of the members.
Well, that's the great thing about it being in a different universe. You can play around like that.
Exactly. Because that the whole thing about honestly, the fact that they called it the Illuminati, I thought that was really cool, because they're trying to play into the comics a bit. And man, the members in the Illuminati.
Well, let's start here, because I'll just tell you, I don't know how your theater was. So Peggy Carter comes out, right?
My entire theater claps.
Yeah, my theater clapped, but then it was like there was this almost like, you got more, give me more. Like the theater almost stopped because they knew.
Yeah, we were clapping, and then like we clapped for like 2 seconds, because obviously she's the first. Besides obviously Mordo, Sorcerer Supreme, he was the first one announced obviously as part of the Illuminati. Then you had Peggy Carter. We clapped for like 2 seconds because we're like, wait, there's still like so many different characters.
Everybody knew there was more.
Yeah, because they've only announced 2 of the like 6 members that are in the Illuminati. So then I believe it was Black Bolt that was shown next. I believe.
Right. Well, can I mention really quick? Peggy Carter looked great in this. Like I loved her in this. Yeah.
She looked straight
Captain
from What
Carter,
If.
to be more specific. Dude, it was the Captain America version of Peggy Carter.
Straight from What If, honestly. Yeah. Like it just reminded me of the What If. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Looked amazing. Then you had Black Bolt, which looked cool too. From the Inhumans, he looked pretty cool. Then you have Rambo as Captain Marvel. That was sick.
But the big one came. Then the big one came.
Oh, then bro, as soon as John Krasinski showed up as Reed Richards, bro, my entire theater went crazy. Bro,
yeah, mine too.
We all started like whistling and clapping, and bro, it was so. I honestly loved seeing John Krasinski as Reed Richards. Man. That shit was
so good.
It was my favorite reveal of all of them, 100%.
And I was just I was listening real intently too, because I was trying to listen to the nuances and the performance from him, and he was really good, man.
Oh, dude,
For the little bit we got, he was really good.
This man,
Perfect
look,
for that.
acting and directing, man. What can't this man do? He's just he's so. And then of course, Charles Xavier,
which we all knew was coming because
Professor X. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now,
Which this version of Professor X that we got was actually
it's younger.
It's from the animated show that they came out with of the X-Men, yeah.
And they de-aged him quite a bit. He's younger than, like, say we saw him in Logan, you know.
Yeah.
This was the last time we saw Patrick Stewart play Charles Xavier anyway.
Right.
And so there was that. And I said in my non-spoiler review, and I think you'll agree with me, as surprising and great as the cameos were, it wasn't so much that. It's the way they were used. Which, boy, were they ever used so well. Because you think about Toby and Andrew and Spider-Man, it's not the fact that they were there. It's part of that caused a stir, and it was like a rock concert when Toby and Andrew showed up in Spider-Man. But it was more about the way they were used that made that movie so special.
Even though, honestly, even though they were used probably less than Toby and Andrew were used,
but they were utilized well for purpose.
But I was to say they weren't utilized as much as Toby and Andrew in No Way Home. But the way that they were all used in the bits that they were in were amazing. Like, I mean, I'll just go straight into Wanda breaks in using the other version by daydreaming, using a spell from the Darkhold.
This is where I went to pee. So you got to explain this to me.
Oh, you went to pee. See, I had to pee throughout the entire movie, but I was able to hold it all the way to the end.
I caught a little bit of it. I know what she did.
Where did you leave?
So I know what she did with the Ultron looking bots.
Yeah. Oh, so that's where you missed. Okay.
I came back.
So you saw that she
I did catch that.
The last head, right? So that's where you left. Okay. Yeah. So
no, I didn't leave there. I came back there.
Oh, you came back there. Oh, yeah. So you missed what happened before.
I missed a little bit of conversation. They were breaching the door when I peed. My bathroom was right there. It was right outside, so I didn't miss much.
Yeah, there was a bit of talking between Christine Palmer and America Chavez before.
Oh, was there? Okay, so that's probably what I missed.
Before she crushed that last Ultron's skull, there was a little bit of talking between Christine and America Chavez. Yeah. She's like, please don't let her take me. Please protect me. And she tried to, close the doors and seal them, but she was getting the passcodes wrong. And then Wanda, starts messing with the computer to where she couldn't type anything anymore.
Oh shit! See, I missed that.
And then that's when all the Ultron bots started running after her, and she crushed that last one. And that's basically what happened. That's basically what happened.
Yeah, which was cool. Now came the big scene, which is
Captain Carter and everyone, all of them showed up, and man, when John Krasinski was talking to Wanda about, I have a family too, I have kids, I know what you're going through. That was, and then before that too is when he was saying that Black Bolt can kill you, obliterate you with just one whisper from his mouth, and she's like, what mouth? And then his brains just explode.
My god, that was cool. Shit. The whole audience went whoa, because they all went because that was so unexpected. You're right, dude. That was nuts.
And then she untethered Reed Richards, like fucking with, like he was just some strings, and then his head just exploded as well. I was like, fuck. And then the fight scene with Captain Carter and Captain Marvel, I really enjoyed. Honestly, I like how they made this female heavy. The fact that Black Bolt and Reed Richards weren't used in this fight, I really did like this female heavy fight between Captain Marvel, Captain Carter, and Wanda, and the fight scenes were sick. I really did enjoy Captain Carter and the whole shield and the jetpack. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, I tell you what, because I thought that they were just gonna have Captain Carter kick her ass, and I was like, oh no, and then they took the shield and it went right through.
Bro, she grabbed it and just threw it back, and it just went straight through her. I was like,
cut in half.
Yeah, bro. Oh my god.
And the shield came back with all the blood and guts. It was like, oh my god. That was nuts. I did not expect to see that in this movie. I was like, oh my god.
And then seeing Captain Marvel crushed by that statue, that was damn. And then oh my god. And then the Professor X scene going into her mind.
Yes, because then you're like, oh shit, X is gonna get her now. No, he didn't.
I honestly did think that Professor X was gonna, save this other Wanda at that point. But then you just see Wanda come from behind and just snap his neck. I was like,
oh my god, yeah.
Sam Raimi really just went balls to the walls.
Yeah, he
with that.
did.
Like,
holy shit. It's so sad that it was so entertaining, but it's like we needed this. We needed something like this in a Marvel movie. We really did.
Oh, 100%.
Fans need a kick in the ass sometimes, and that was it. We really do sometimes. And
A reality check, honestly.
And that was it. The fact that, here's your cameos, but I'm gonna kill them all. That was nuts.
I don't think it's the last of any of them, honestly. I think we're definitely gonna see other variants of them in the future.
Well, I think Krasinski's got to be Reed Richards now. I think that has to be
it's honestly, I do think that he's going to not only be, Reed Richards in the next Fantastic Four movie, but he's also going to be the director.
Well, the running theory now. Yeah, the director. You're right, because
exactly director he left because he didn't want to. He just fucking directed a trilogy of Spider-Man movies that he just wants to take a break and kind of do other stuff. But
I don't buy it, but that's what he said. I think Kevin Feige was like, "Look, we want Krasinski, but he wants to direct. Will you do me the solid and not do this one, and then I'll give you your choice of Marvel movie in the future." Yeah,
and obviously John Watts agreed because he's like, "Look, well, I mean," and I feel like John Watts also at the same time kind of maybe wanted a break. He did.
I don't think so.
Kind of also just did No Way Home.
I don't buy that at all because he agreed to that in the middle of No Way Home. I don't buy it at all.
But I honestly can't wait to see John Krasinski take over, direct this next.
If he does, then we'll see. He might not even be the Reed Richards. He might have just done this as but I bet he is. I would bet he is. If I was a bet,
I would bet the money that I have right now that he's going to be Reed Richards and direct this movie. Honestly,
but. It's amazing. This scene is so amazing, and even the callback to I love seeing Thanos in this movie. Thanos makes an appearance in this movie too.
Oh my gosh, when Charles Xavier, when they were explaining to Doctor Strange, because they were like, "Oh, we're about to tell you the truth because this Doctor Strange didn't die fighting Thanos," and they told him the truth, which I thought was incredible. Seeing a flashback of them on Thanos's planet, Titan, I believe it's called. Kill Thanos basically dead with his own sword, and then their Doctor Strange knelt down with his fingertips black because he was using the Darkhold, and that whole story was great.
So for the kids out there, this is what we call saving money. We show a dead Thanos, and then we don't have to pay Josh Brolin a ton of money. There you go. That's it.
True. I mean you're not wrong.
Although I heard what Villeneuve paid him for Dune. I heard.
Wait, but wouldn't he kind of be paid because that is his character?
He probably got paid a small amount for likeness.
But he still got paid though because that is the
small amount for likeness. It's still saving money. They're still saving money.
Yeah, 100% still saving money.
Because they could have done a full flashback of him alive and then dying again or in their universe, but they were like, we'll just pay him for the likeness and that's it.
But yeah, no, that whole stuff was cool too. And then the Mordo fight with Doctor Strange, man, that was
great.
And I feel Doctor Strange was tempting him to attack him that entire time, 100%.
Yeah,
because he knew that when he attacked him, he was gonna be able to break out of those chains. And so that whole scene was cool. And then obviously, Doctor Strange finds Christine and America Chavez, says you need to take me to the Book of Vishanti so I can. Basically stop.
Well, this stuff is amazing because this is where it went full on, this chase sequence with them and Wanda, and it turned into all of a sudden it was like a Michael Myers or Jason movie, except Wanda's the Michael Myers.
It kind of reminded me of. You're probably gonna hate me for saying this, but it reminded me almost of Maze Runner when they run away.
Okay, I thought you were going somewhere else with that. Sorry.
Nah, Maze Runner where they run away from those monsters.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of a chase like that.
Yeah.
Doors closing and paths changing. Yeah, it kind of just reminded me of that, and I really did enjoy that because I mean, as much as Maze Runner isn't as horror as this one, there is still some horror aspects to Maze Runner because of the monsters in that first one.
Sure.
And so it kind of reminded me of that. And and I love when Doctor Strange was like, the other one, if you're listening, hold your breath, please. And then he just makes the water just start falling, and then the door closes. He's like, did you kill her? Nah, I just bought us time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like that. That was pretty cool. as well.
It was great because he knows. And I just thought it was so interesting because, oh man, when have we ever seen a sequence like that though, where a superhero is like running from something? Like usually they're going toward it to fight it. We've never seen a sequence like that where somebody's like running from something like that anyway. Like in this horror vibe that Sam Raimi brought. Like it was an actual like killer's chasing me. We gotta go. You know.
I also feel like none of the superheroes have faced a villain quite as strong and powerful as Wanda.
Exactly. That's what I love so much about this movie.
Exactly. You know, we're getting something different that we've never seen in Marvel before, and that's what I want Marvel to keep bringing to the table and keep giving us is new stuff that we've just never seen before. Don't give us the same stuff that we've already seen. You know, just expand and give us new stuff.
But lo and behold, Wanda gets America Chavez anyway throughout this.
Well, yeah, they find the Book of Ashanti. He grabs it. Oh, we also forgot to mention though before too that when she was performing that spell to daydream or dreamwalk, one of the people on Wong's followers essentially destroys the Darkhold and sacrifices herself, and so she takes him to the one mountain where the Darkhold spells are engraved.
That's right.
Which I thought that was some pretty cool stuff. Yeah. And so yeah, he grabs the Book of Ashanti and he's about to use it, then she destroys it, essentially capturing America Chavez, then mind controlling her to open the multiverse portal, pushing Christine Palmer and Doctor Strange to a different multiverse, and then taking her to the throne where she is, where she was performing the dream walking, and then letting the other Wanda free.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was some really cool stuff, because then you see the other Wanda is kind of like, where the hell am I? What happened to me? And then she just jumps back up to the door and just, goes back to her kids.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, we got that Strange versus Strange fight, which is great.
One other thing I was going to mention too, what I like too, is that in the Earth where they went to go, see the other Doctor Strange, that it was actually Mordo who's Sorcerer Supreme. I did like the concept of like how you walk on red, but you stop on green. I like the whole thing about how like it was. Oh, did we?
Yeah. That's okay. Oh. You want to talk about it again?
No, I just didn't. I didn't remember listening to you saying that, but no. Okay.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah. Yeah. Go on red was the big line there when he was when they were going into the
yeah, you're right.
Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yeah.
No, you're okay. Yeah. No, but it was cool. So I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you on that. 100%.
So now Christine and Doctor are on this.
It reminds me of Sorcerer's Apprentice, but.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Hey, bro, they're both sorcerers.
Yeah, true. Good point. And
they both use rings.
There you go. That's true. It's very true. Look, but we got the Strange versus Strange fight, which was great. Well, it really started out as Strange thought that this guy was going to be on his side at the beginning, and then
but he's like, I need to go see my other.
Yeah, something like that, right? Yeah. And he thought he was going to be on his side.
Honestly, I like the building that he was in. I liked the whole flooding aspect, and then the staircase leading to the room where the rest of it was kind of just like open. It almost felt like you were in a different world, because it wasn't a closed building. Even though it was in a closed building, it almost looked like it wasn't.
Right.
I really like that whole aspect. The whole darkness to the room as well gave me very cool. Very, very much horror vibes, and I really did like it. And so, yeah, like you said, we get into this battle because our Doctor Strange ultimately wants the Darkhold so that he can dreamwalk to fight Wanda.
Gave Benedict Cumberbatch, by the way, some really good opportunity to show off some acting chops. I thought with that whole scene between the two, like
with Sinister Strange. Yeah. Honestly, and then obviously he says that using the Darkhold comes with a heavy toll, and he's like not on the book, but on the
not on the owner or something, but on the reader or something like that. But yeah, it was a good line.
That was a very, very good line. I really did. I think it was he said not on the universe, but on the beholder.
Right. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. So then the whole fight starts, and he's he throws his whip to grab the book, and then he grabbing the book turns it purple and kind of throws him at the piano, which I thought was really cool, because then Doctor Strange and the pages are floating, and he grabs the notes and uses that as a weapon.
That was different, but I liked it.
Which I did really enjoy, watching them fight with musical notes.
Sam Raimi-isms right there. The Sam
exactly fighting with musical notes. I thought that was a really cool concept. I really did enjoy that. And then that one little note, that one tiny note, just
Yeah.
made the difference to
Oh,
just
that was cool when he pulled the
yeah,
one from the
yeah.
that
One,
was
bro. That
that was sick.
one tiny note just floated into the circle and
That
just
was sick.
made the difference.
That
And then he
was
grabbed
filmed
the
so well too because of the the shot of the note, just
yeah,
the
yeah.
slow motion.
You just see a slow motion of a little note
Yeah, that
just
was good.
flying towards the circle and just making the difference. And
That
then
was sick.
ultimate, he grabs the Darkhold and then pushes Sinister Strange out. And this was very gory too. He just lands on some spikes and you see his dead body there. And then out of nowhere, his third eye just opens.
Yeah,
letting you know that the souls of death, or the death souls, whatever they're called, are still present.
yeah. There's a lot of creativity though with the camera work here. There was a couple things I mentioned to you, like one of the ones was like the flashing between the Wanda with the kids and our Wanda, that flashing back and forth like they would do. There was that was amazing.
When the Darkhold was destroyed and she was like kneeling down, like if she was actually there, but it was actually the other Wanda. Yeah, that was
awesome.
Phenomenal camera work. I absolutely enjoyed that.
Oh, I loved it. This is such a Raimiism too. You see it so much throughout Evil Dead, but like just the crooked camera shots that would like zoom in really fast, like when those doors were closing early on.
Dude, and those scenes that, because I watched a video of them comparing the IMAX screen to the regular screen of like what you miss.
Mm-hmm.
When she's in Carmitage and she steps on that platform and it starts like kind of messing with her mind, and then you see the glass things like pop up, that the IMAX aspect of it was really sick. And there's some really sick stuff that you really do need to watch in IMAX.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you're still here if you haven't seen the movie yet. Well, if you have, I mean, and it was in standard, go see it in IMAX. If you haven't seen the movie at all yet, and again, I don't know why you're here, but if you haven't, see it in IMAX. Yeah,
you have to, because this was filmed literally on IMAX cameras. Like,
it was worth it.
You literally, it was definitely worth paying extra to watch an IMAX. Like, this
very
movie
good
was
visually. Yeah. It's stunning.
So then, then Christine Palmer comes up and he's about to use the Darkhold.
Right.
And she's like, please, whatever you do, protect me from the souls of death. And then she was like, how are you? Don't you need a living version of yourself from your universe? He was like, who says that he needs to be?
Says that he needs to be alive? And then we all knew what he was gonna do.
Yeah, and then he uses the dead, Defender Strange that they buried, which was really that whole burial thing. I thought was pretty funny too. Yeah. And then he uses obviously, and I really liked this. Was very like, Sam Raimi too, was like zombie type, his hands punching through the rocks,
very Sam Raimi,
getting out of there. That was I really did like that too. It was like a zombie. He's like, what I said in the theater when I was watching this movie is like, it's alive, almost like Frankenstein, coming out of the that was really, really cool.
That was amazing.
Oh yeah. And then you go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say the battle was epic with him.
First you have this, the souls of death coming after him, and when Christine Palmer used that thing to light them on fire, that was really cool. I really did enjoy that. And then the fact that he used the souls of death as like a cape, almost representing, his, our Doctor Strange's cape. I like how he made a cape out of them. That was really, really cool.
Incredible. Yeah, you're right. And that was, which by the way, the cape still had a lot of personality in this one. They kept that very consistent with the first.
Oh, and she fixed it. She fixed it up. She stitched up a little bit of blue onto it, which I really did like. But yeah, no, like you said, the fight between Doctor Strange and Wanda was Wong throughout this too was amazing. When he threw his whip up and killed one of those beasts, that was so sick.
Oh, and yeah. Wong was incredible in this movie, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, and honestly, like
the fight with Gargantos when he showed up, though, early on, that was awesome.
Oh, dude. Yeah, and that fight that I saw in the video too, that when he was like doing flips and throwing his whip at Gargantus, there was like bits that you missed if you don't watch it in IMAX. So there's just a lot of fight sequences and stuff in this movie that you just need to watch in IMAX because you'll miss a lot of it.
Yeah.
But again too, like when Wong saw what Doctor Strange was doing, he really didn't question it. He's like, I don't even want to know. Like he knew that this was the only way that they could stop Wanda. And I like how he really did just accept it at this point. Mm-hmm. And so the whole fight scene with the dead Defender Strange against Wanda was sick.
Yeah.
Trapping her with the souls of death, and then Wong kind of just locking it up, and then she was breaking out, and then America's like, Oh no, and then dude, the conversation between Wong and Doctor Strange was like, "This is the only way,"
Yeah.
and he's like, "Yeah, this is the only way." And then he goes up to her, and she's like, "She had to kill me, right? Just take it, please. I accept it." And he's like,
Right.
"No, you're the one that needs to do this."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, dude, that's that father figure coming through, man." Like,
Yeah.
fuck, you just and then and then she escapes, and when she starts punching one and stuff, that was some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And then she opens the portal and she shows that Wanda that she took over. That scene was the best.
That is the best because
that is the best that I've seen from Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda. Honestly, that was phenomenal.
This is Wanda's moment of redemption, and with the WandaVision again, and WandaVision is such required viewing. I feel like before going into this because of things like this. And
if you're still here again, like we said, it's spoiler. I don't know why you're here, but if you haven't seen WandaVision, you need to watch that before watching this because it's a must to watch before this movie. Honestly.
Because Wanda's redemption in this, it seems very earned. To me, when you see that, because of WandaVision, it seems very earned.
And I'm saying that whole scene too was just some great stuff. Honestly, like it was phenomenal acting. Honestly, like Elizabeth Olsen. Honestly, she's just too talented, man. Like it's some great stuff.
You're right, and she was amazing in that, and that scene actually really brought a lot of sadness over me, and then we got like Wanda allegedly, it's the Marvel fake that the universe we're in,
allegedly
dying.
Sacrificing, but she Doctor Strange is like Wong or America Chavez, get Wong out of here, and she's like, I'll find you, and then that conversation between Strange and Wanda was some great stuff.
It was great. It was great. Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna destroy this so that no one ever gets tempted again. And then she just lifts the whole building and then just drops on her. I'm like,
that line from Elizabeth Olsen just sold that to me, though. It just sold the redemption the way she delivered that line.
She was like, I'm gonna destroy this dark cold so that no one ever gets tempted again. I was like,
so good. Yeah,
man, what a redemption! What a redemption! And then she just collapses the whole building on herself, dying, in quotations, and then Doctor Strange snaps out of the dream walking, and Christine Palmer's on the floor. And then we get, them having this little moment together, which I thought was kind of cute. Him telling her that I wasn't happy, I never was.
Yeah, that stuff's great. Like it's a it does bring a completion to the movie in a way. Like to me, this movie, it's again, I talk about this all the time about like, sometimes there are movies that like there's a lot of things about them that play really well, but then there's something about them that like just don't feel complete. But this feels extremely.
This one, I was gonna say, this one's complete. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. It's moments like that make that. You're right, and that's, I like that ending a lot. Or him and America, having the dialogue with one another, that really made it complete to me. It really like brought it full circle. And then there's.
Let me go back to Carmitage.
Yes.
And America Chavez is training to be a sorcerer, obviously. Yes. Which I really like the line that Wong said to Doctor Strange about like, I once knew a student like that, referring to him, obviously. Because he was saying that she's going too fast, she needs to slow down, and then Wong's like, I remember a student like that.
Yeah.
Obviously referring to Strange from the first movie, which I thought was a really cool reference.
Right around here, I thought Shang-Chi was going to show up. I don't know why.
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I had my suspicions after watching Shang-Chi, especially with the end credit scene, that he was going to be in the next Doctor Strange.
I was for sure almost, yeah.
Yeah, especially because of that end credit scene alone. I thought he was going to, him and I was ready to see Awkwafina just pop in to say some funny shit, but I didn't know why.
Yeah, we absolutely, Wong and Shang-Chi have some unfinished business, and so we're going to see that somewhere down the line.
Look, I think he's going to be in Doctor Strange 3. I think there's going to be something between Wong and Shang-Chi happening in Doctor Strange 3.
And I'll go ahead on the record right now and say, if this movie does really well, and I think it's going to, they're going to fast track a Doctor Strange 3, I think. Personally, I think that
100%.
A lot like they did with Spider-Man. I mean, the Far From Home made $1 billion. They fast tracked No Way Home. It wasn't too.
And look, that one's made $1 billion. That one's made $1 billion too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, honestly, I'm thinking if this one makes more than the first Doctor Strange, I think that they'll be in the next like year or so that they'll be doing Doctor Strange 3 for sure.
Yeah.
But then obviously we get these other sorcerers bowing down to Wong, and then we finally see Doctor Strange bowing to Benedict to Wong, you know,
yeah.
and
Which is
I
cool.
thought that was really,
He's passing along the Sorcerer
yeah.
Supreme.
And then you see, I think you see his third eye open, don't you?
Well, that's not there. That's after he's walking down the street. Everything's good.
Oh, okay.
He's walking down the street and this is a Raimiism. Again, this is how all the Evil Dead movies end.
We forgot. Yeah, I really like the scene too where he, fixed his watch. He took off the cracked glass and put the new one on. I thought that was really cool. And yeah, he's walking out in the street, and then all of a sudden he's like his third eye opens, and he's just like screaming in this like big panic. And
it just made it feel so much more legit horror.
And then the screen just flashes black. I'm like,
yeah, there you go.
What the fuck?
That's a horror movie for you, right there.
Bro, and then the first end credit scene. Yes. Holy shit!
Which after you explained that to me, that was like it opened my eyes a little bit.
And I'll explain it here too. I had to look this up obviously because I didn't know. I didn't even then hold on, I'll start. So this first end credit scene starts with Doctor Strange walking down the street, right? He's wearing his cape as a scarf, which I really did like a lot. And then all of a sudden you just see Charlize Theron pop on the screen.
Right, which was surprising.
Dressed in purple with purple makeup. And then she says that something along the lines of this incursion that you've made, we need to fix. And he's like, and then his third eye opens. He's like, cool, let's do it. And then she like takes out this fucking Infinity Sword weapon and like opens a portal to, I find out, is the Dark Dimension, by the way, which is where she's from.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just ends like that. So Charlize Theron's character,
she introduces her name. She says her name's Clea.
Does she though? I don't think she does.
I'm pretty positive she introduces herself because
I
thought he asked what her name was.
I don't think he does because I think he just.
I'll watch it again in 2 days. I'll find out. But yeah.
Yeah, because a bunch of people around me were like, "Who was she playing?"
I thought she at least said her name was Clea. I'm pretty sure, but anyway.
Because all of us in the theater were asking like, "Who is she playing?" And then I had to wait till the end credit scene to see that Charlize Theron was playing a character called Clea, which looking up, I find out that she is from Earth 616, which is our Doctor Strange's Earth as well. Find out that she later becomes Doctor Strange's wife.
Right. In the comics anyway. We'll see what they do
in the comics,
here,
right. In the comics, we'll see what they do here. But yeah, she's a sorcerer who is from the Dark Dimension, but she later, I guess in the comics, comes to Earth 616 and becomes Doctor Strange's wife, successor of Sorcerer Supreme, which I thought was really cool, having Charlize Theron play Clea, because she's just such a talented actress.
I'll tell you, if that's the case, if she does become his wife, I could see Charlize like matching his arrogance. I really can. I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, 100%. I do see that, and I see them being a perfect couple in this.
Honestly, they could build this to something really cool, like a really good relationship to follow.
100%.
Now, the second post-credit scene, this is where I'll jump in, because to me, this is the funniest moment in the whole movie.
I'm not going to lie to you. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. At this point, I was wanting to pee so bad that I wanted to like go to the bathroom quick and come back. But I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna just wait for this second end credit scene to come, and I'll watch it and then go pee.
This is the funniest moment in the movie to me.
What pissed me off kind of too is I just want Marvel to stop doing this. I want them to stop putting at the end of movies, they will return. I'm like, well, no shit, Sherlock. Of course they're gonna return.
I don't, because it's part of the tradition. It's like if Star Wars stopped doing the opening crawl in like a core movie.
That's different. The opening crawl, that's different. Like I
disagree. It's their thing.
I haven't seen this will return shit since like since the newer movies. Like you don't see these in any of the older movies.
Yeah, you do. It's in all of them.
I don't see it at the end of the first Iron Man. The second
it's in
Iron
there. That first Iron Man says Iron Man will return. It's right after the Nick Fury scene. Go watch it. It's all in there.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just need them to stop because it's kind of obvious that they're gonna be back.
It's their thing. I don't care.
Unless they die, of course they're gonna be back. I mean, shit.
Yeah, it's their thing. I like it. It's tradition. I know that. I see where you're coming from, but like, I was gonna say
this is the funniest. This is probably one of the funniest shits.
It is the funniest moment in the movie to me because it's at the theater roaring. Like
I was gonna say before that scene came, the funny shit that I witnessed was there was a couple people in my theater that when that popped up, they were all like, "Well, no shit, Sherlock. I mean, of course this man's gonna be back." Like, I thought that was. I actually started laughing, and it made me want to pee even more. Yeah. I was like, "Please don't make me laugh." But I thought that was really funny that I witnessed someone just say, "Well, no shit, Sherlock."
Yeah. Well,
No,
anyway,
this next end credit scene I was very funny. Even though I haven't seen it,
yeah.
I mean I still just
I'm
started,
sure half
I
my theater
started
hadn't seen Evil Dead, but they still thought it was hysterical.
I started cracking laughing.
You know what? It's the idea of it to where it's like, well, Bruce Campbell, like, it's this concept that he's been punching himself this whole time. And it's like, now the movie's finally over. I can stop.
He's been punching himself for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Finally, the 3 weeks are done, and he's stopped punching himself.
Yeah. It's over.
The face that he pulls when he says it's over is such a funny fucking face, man. I fucking loved it.
And it really goes back into, this is more deep cut for the Evil Dead fans, about how Bruce Campbell used to always say, Sam Raimi loves to beat me up when I do a movie with him. Like, he loves to just put me through torture, and this was like kind of it plays into that whole relationship that him and Bruce Campbell have of like.
Oh, I was gonna Speaking of that, I really liked the part where America Chavez is like, "Is that gonna be over in a couple minutes?"
Yeah.
Like, more like 3 weeks. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
exactly.
shit.
You know what was a really good America Chavez line that made me laugh, and it like it's actually kind of a darker joke that they played a little bit where she goes, "So the woman that's trying to kill me, you told her where I was," and like that was funny to me. Yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, that's Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
What really freaked me out too was the fact that Wanda knew who America Chavez was the whole time. Like, how did Wanda find out about her? Like, that's the one question that
she's been studying though. I think that was kind of the point of the end credit scene of WandaVision. She's kind of been out there just studying, trying to figure it out. She's been studying the Darkhold since she's been trying to figure it out for a long time.
The finale of WandaVision.
Yeah, she's been trying to get those kids back, man. That was the whole thing, and now we saw the meaning of it. And people called me on my shit, or they tried to call bullshit when I told them about how Wanda is going to be like, that's her motivation. Like, that's the real Wanda is the one in the Scarlet Witch garb. A lot of people just called me on my shit. They said that that was not the real Wanda or something like that. That was a different. And it's like, no, I was right.
I mean, I do remember there was the theories of people saying that, like, in Doctor Strange 2, it wasn't going to be the real Wanda. She was going to be like some possessed Wanda.
Yeah, nobody was convinced about it.
From some darker force.
Right, and nobody was convinced.
Some higher power.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I was. Either way.
I mean, I 100% knew that it was going to be her just turning.
Now, there's one more thing that made me look at the Moon Knight finale a little bit differently. And now I'm not going to make a whole discussion about the Moon Knight finale, but there's one thing that happens in this movie in the first 5 minutes that I was like, oh shit. Because I was already thinking about this a little bit when I was watching Moon Knight, even in episode 5. And it has to do with like the fact that dreams are a portal to different realities. So my question would be, because we saw Moon Knight having the dream of him being in the mental hospital, is that a reality? That's a separate reality to me, right? Like, in a reality, Mark Spector is in a mental hospital in Moon Knight. That's my take.
Yeah, I guess it is him just portraying a different version of what's actually happened to him in real life. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, Moon Knight, Khonshu, and Harrow and Amit is all stuff that's actually happened to him in real life. And so he envisions this mental hospital as a separate reality to where he can escape, sort of, kind of, if you know what I'm trying to, if you know what I mean.
I get where you're going.
It's just like him trying to play something different in his life and through a different reality and a different life. Like him, instead of him, fighting Harrow, he envisions himself in a mental hospital having Harrow as his doctor. In this psychiatric ward. It could be it. Honestly, I can see that happening, if I'm being honest.
The second that Strange woke up from the dream from a separate universe, I was like, oh shit. And I've been saying this the whole time because it makes sense in terms of, I mean, say what you want about a real science, but this is like a real theory of science that people have in our actual universe, that dreams could be a portal to separate realities. I love that they played that in this.
I just like that we finally saw Jake Lockley, bro. That's
yeah.
Well,
either way, look, that's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and it was a fun discussion. It was a great movie. I can't wait to see it again
Must go.
And I will be going. Yeah, I gave it a must go. You're giving it a must go. It's in the
100%.
top 3 best MCU movies. Now, don't get me wrong. This is one of the best movies I've seen all year. It's not an untoppable movie this year. I think I still put the Batman above it, but it's a great movie.
That's a good shout, honestly. Yeah, I mean, these two movies, both kind of dark and horror in their own ways. I would say Batman is more dark and like kind of psychological, whereas this one is more horror and violent and gore. Sure. You know what I mean? But they're both just incredible.
We'll
films.
see though. I might be able to see myself revisiting this one more. We'll see how that goes. But at the end of the day, I love the movie. I think it's fantastic. It's an amazing ride. It is a roller coaster ride, and it's a Sam Raimi film. If you're a Sam Raimi fan, you have to see this movie.
It's also a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster of emotions as well.
100%. It's so fun. It's so good. It's so horror filled, and I hope you guys just thoroughly enjoy it. And I was blown away by the movie that I actually got in result.
Man, yeah, same.
Which wasn't again the movie that I thought I was gonna get, but hey, I'm happy.
I don't think any of us really were expecting any of this.
No, but I'm happy with it, and I can't wait to see it again.
Same.
And just have the experience again. That's always going to be the best thing about this. But
of course,
yeah, guys, look, Jose, what go ahead and close it out and your closing thoughts.
Look, man, I'll just say again, this movie is a must go. If you haven't seen this, what are you doing with your life? I mean, look, it's the summer. If I know most of the people probably watching this are, our age, and it's the summer. You guys really probably don't have anything better to do. So what are you doing with your lives? Go on a weekend, go to IMAX, watch this movie. It's a must go. I thoroughly was impressed and thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I will be revisiting this movie a lot. Again, it's, my top 3 of MCU films. I just loved the performances by every single character in this. Wong, Benedict, Elizabeth Olsen, America Chavez, everyone Christine Palmer, like everyone in this movie just played their roles so well, man. And I just really just enjoyed how Sam Raimi took this movie and just went balls to the walls and just outdid himself with this movie, man. I loved it so much.
All right, there you have it, guys. We're gonna get going here, and yes, it is the summer movie season is upon us again. It really feels like a true summer movie season again. It's great, and this is the start of it. So make sure you guys go get out and see this one. It's an amazing thrill ride, an amazing blockbuster in our opinions anyway, and we hope you all feel the same, although you probably won't. But here we go. We're going to get out of here. I've been Don Martino. That's been Jose Espinel. Jose, where can people find you before we go?
You can find me on all socials at Type 1 Latino, all lowercase, all together, and also on stereo.
All right, you can find me on Twitter at Dom_Martino_, on Instagram Dom_Martino_official. I have been Dom Martino, so thank you very much for joining. And you could follow the Anorex pages, Anorex Official, across Twitter and Instagram. Thank you very much for being here. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, hit the bells for notifications. Definitely let us know what you thought of this film in the comments below as well. And we'll talk to you guys later.